it wasn't really hard for me to serve a mission, or to decide to serve a mission. It's kind of like I've always grown up being told I was going to go on a mission, never really wanted to do anything else. Just that's the next logical step where I was. I graduate high school, go on a mission. But I'd say that my testimony before the mission wasn't all that strong. I definitely believed, definitely in Jesus Christ. Definitely believed that He's my Savior and that Joseph Smith was His prophet to restore the church. But it wasn't really that big part of my life, my belief. Didn't affect my actions all that much more than just knowing what my parents expected of me. But it was enough to go on a mission. It was enough. I did have testimony. I did believe. I did want to serve. And so I went up to the mission field with that in mind. I'm going to dedicate 2 years as much as I can to be as good as I can to serve the Lord. In my head, it's always been like you have the apostles, like prophet and apostles, and you have like the 70s, and then there's missionaries. Missionaries as superheroes always growing up, especially where I'm from in the South. And so when I went on a mission, I expected everyone to be like larger than life, be pretty perfect. I was kind of worried about that because I'm not perfect. But I got to the MTC and I realized that's not the case at all. We're all just a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing, and we just got out of the world. A lot of people had just graduated high school because of the age change, and no one was used to it. No one was used to going from a normal everyday teenager, maybe 20 years old, to missionary, full-time missionary, serving the Lord, expected to have all this testimony, all this goodness about them, I guess. And so that really disturbed me, I guess, in the MTC. I was really mad about it when I saw people not doing what they're supposed to do or what I thought they should do. I was kind of judgmental at first, which made me I wasn't any better than anyone else, so I couldn't judge. But that was probably the most surprising thing in the MTC, is the fact that a lot of people didn't want to be there. Also the fact that there are a lot of people who are so much more prepared than I was, and so much, I guess, happier to be there. There's one elder I can think of in particular who's so impressive to me. He had a hard time because he was our district leader, and we were the most obedient set of missionaries. But he wanted more than anything else for us to just be happy, more for us to do what is right, because he knew that's where happiness came from, because of his incredibly strong testimony of Jesus Christ. Anytime you're looking at him, if he's ever stressed, you see him, bow his head real quick, say a quick prayer. It's kind of annoying for sometimes, but it was really impressive, and it's really stuck with me how often he turned to the Lord, how well he could rely on the Lord and listen for inspiration. Because of that, I changed who I was. I wanted to be like that. I wanted to be someone who could rely on the Lord, who could, whenever anything bad happened, whenever anything stressful happened, I could turn to the Lord and expect Him to be there for me. Other MTC things. It was really cold. I went there in January. I'm from South Carolina, so was not expecting it. I didn't bring any pants. Never really been that cold weather before. We did all the outside work in my sweatpants. Nice bright yellow smiley faces on them. The food is awesome, as much as you can eat. Too much sometimes. It's really fun because you're just with the same group for a long time. Either you hate them or you love them. And if you hate them, you grow to love them. The only other thing about the MTC is that it's kind of super strict, hyper strict, in a sense that I think the function of that is to have us come out of the world into this ridiculously high standard environment, so that when we go into the mission, it's still really high standards, but it's slightly less standards, so we can adjust quicker to that. So we realize it's not as high as the MTC, but we can do this. This is something we can do. We can be the missionaries we need to be.